The first I heard of my diagnosis was in 2015. I got a call from my doctor telling me that my test results came back and I have breast cancer. The feelings were overwhelming. I was very much in shock, and I was scared. My biggest challenge was keeping a face on for my children, keeping a smiling face on. They were only 3 and 4 years old, and I didn't want them to see mommy sick. So my biggest challenge was the days I couldn't walk up my stairs from chemo was not letting my kids see that weakness because I didn't want them to worry about me. You really find out the love that people have for you when you go through something like this. And that was overwhelming because when you're fighting cancer, you have to be positive. There's no room for negative energy, negative thoughts. And that's what my family made sure of, that I was positive and that I was celebrated. And they were there for every one of my chemo visits. They were doing races in my name. There were fundraisers that were being done in my hometown. It was just amazing. It was a lot of support. My husband was there every step of the way, making sure that, my kids were being occupied, while I wasn't feeling well. So it was overwhelming, beautiful. My kids, my family, I just needed to get through this, and I'll be okay. I have my faith. My faith kept me going. I have a strong faith in God, and I knew that I had more to do here. So we just needed to get through this and move on. I was about a year in treatment I had 8 rounds of chemo. I had a lumpectomy. I was at stage 2B, so they're able to take it out with free of any cursors, and I went through 8 rounds of chemo and 35 rounds of radiation every day. I stay positive. I try to stay positive, and when life is tough, I remember that I went through breast cancer because you don't really remember it a lot. Like, it's not in the front of my mind, and it comes out in conversation when I'm talking to folks, and they're like, really? So it's inspiring to know what I went through, and my outlook is just more of, you can get through it. You can get through it, and cancer, it used to rule us. Now I feel like we need to start ruling cancer. So it kind of changed my mindset about cancer and how we get it and where it comes from and ways that you can take care of yourself. So it kind of empowered me too. The lesson was really about staying positive, because you can get stuck in, what's not working out, and you just can't have that mindset when you're fighting cancer, and you really got to look at all of the good things that are happening, because when you're fighting against something that could take your life, you kind of look at things a little bit differently, and then you see people that didn't make it, and it's really an impact. So you just keep fighting, and you keep empowering others to keep fighting. So for somebody that's newly diagnosed, my biggest message is to stay positive. To stay positive, to stay happy, to keep smiling, and just show up every day and do what you're being asked to do, and keep your body healthy. Get rid of all those toxins and sugars and all of that stuff that we like to ingest. Get rid of it and start your journey off right. Give your body a fighting chance by staying positive and a healthy diet. I work out a lot. Exercise is huge in my life. I'm very active. I eat well, I fast. Ginger and lemon are my best friend in my water every day. After cancer, you really learn about sugars and how sugar is really evil, and it feeds cancer. So that was, talk about a big revelation. That definitely was one. So I stay away from that, and I try to guide my family in that direction too. You can't be zero sugar, but we try our best. So my cancer came from one mammogram to the next. All of a sudden, I had stage 2B cancer that had come out of my ducts already in 1 year. So the year before, there was no detection of so this happened in a year. So, if I waited another year, it could have been throughout my whole body. If I did, just ignored the fact that I don't need a mammogram, I could have been sick, and now I have stage 4 cancer. So early detection is vital. It is key to the survival of cancer, of getting through it. The earlier, the better.